The biggest lesson, the biggest lesson on a day like today is if it's going to happen, you'll see it happening. So I noticed the potential outside day. When we flipped the day back red, there wasn't a ton of aggression to the upside, but a ton of aggression to the downside, right? So this was my first entry. Because my portfolio is the size that it is, I'm practicing being okay with the profit that I'm getting, right? So when we come down here, this is like 100 or so percent, you take profit, you re-enter here. So this is your second entry. Because this is also happening on the flip, right? So let's just talk through this, right? So this entry, right? 1, 2, 2, 5 are down, right? We have a potential outside A, which makes complete sense. However, I come to ADR, my contract's at 100 something percent, and on the 15-minute, and I know the 15-minute flip is coming, right? The first decent flip of the day, right? 15, 30, then we have the hour. And so when this goes green and I'm already at ADR, logically, you get out of the trade, right? I'm not that far from flipping the day back green, and I've already triggered the day up, okay? So you let this fiver happen, which I do. And then when we trigger this inside fiver down, this is giving me extreme confirmation that I am going outside day. Why? Because first things first, it's wickless 5, right? When things are wickless, it usually indicates decisiveness, right? We open here and they immediately shoot down, right? Not only have we shot down, I have shot down through ADR, right? So when I have this trigger, that's telling me that there's a lot of selling going on. Number one. Number two, let's look at the 15er. Same 15er, right? I 3-2 on the 15er. So if this is my entry on that inside fiver, this is a confident add if I had more money, right, in this account on the 3-2 15er, right? So then you're in this trade. This is your trade, right? You break through orb. And for me, my target is this line, right? Which is the 50% line of orb. So first, I want to get outside day. And I go there, right? And we'll go back to the fiver because you're playing 0 days. I think looking at the fiver makes sense. So my target is outside day. That's my first target. I hit it, or I wick it rather, and then I go inside, right? On a new 15er. The smartest thing to do is just take the money at your profit. I'm still not that great at that, but I have this inside fiver, right? Once this flips green, I need to be getting out because I've hit my target. Same thing that happened at ADR, right? I hit ADR, which is usually a point of contention, right? I hit ADR. If it keeps going, fine, but it went all the way back up and I have a 15-minute flip. This turns green. You just got to get out. I don't have enough money to hold through these things, but I do have enough money to get in and out, if that makes sense, right? Because if this goes all the way back up, then I lose all my profit. So again, same thing is happening down here. I hit my target. I get an inside fiver, right? But this inside fiver goes up in green. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I long, maybe I don't, maybe I just sit tight. Because of how much I have, you got to sit tight. However, when this comes back through, this flips red, passes the 50% mark of this, or however you want to chart it. But when this flips red, it's telling me I'm going lower. I'm going outside. So we have an outside bar here, which is fine because we also triggered the week, right? And since I have my lines on, I can see that. So I've triggered this failed 2 up week, right? That's that line. So going back to the 5, I can see, right? Inside down, I trigger this week, which is this green line, right? This is my week. Trigger that. Maybe I can take these off for you. No, okay. Trigger that, and we keep going down, right? This is ultimately my next target. Post the weekly trigger, my next target is here. I don't know what this is. My next target is this dotted line. What happens is, you kind of go back and forth. So again, I don't want to do this because it's going to kill my profits. But the gist of what I'm saying is, if it's going to happen, you will see it happening, right? So what does that look like? I saw that we triggered the day up. we flipped the day back red, we went red, right? So 1, 2, 2, I'm seeing it happening, right? I'm seeing the potential outside day happening. Cool, we go here, we go inside. This is your second entry. And I hit my target on that second entry, right? Sometimes it doesn't happen that quickly, but regardless, I can see it happening. Okay, great. So then I have my other targets here and here. Let's look at the 15er, right? Because you do want to be switching to higher time frames as the day goes on. Okay, I have this inside 15er. I'm waiting for a trigger. It doesn't happen. Okay, cool. I have another inside 15er right at this outside day. It does trigger. And then I have no reason to exit on the 15er until here, right? And even so, if you look at even higher time frame, there's really no reason to get out. Perfect, beautiful double inside 30, just straight down, right? So where am I going? Great question. You have to go on higher time frames to find that out, right? I need to trigger the month. Looking at the week, that's the same as my weekly magnitude, right? This is where I'm trying to get to. This is where I'm going. Is it all going to happen today? Who bloody knows? But if it's going to happen, you're going to see it happening. SPY is the same thing. SPY was actually an even better trade because Qs was in front of it. So Qs hit outside day. Let's see. The first time Qs hit outside day was around 10 o'clock. SPY took ages to hit outside day. But because Qs did, the likelihood of SPY was much higher. It took SPY till noon 10 to hit outside day. So you could stay in your SPY short with confidence because you knew and you had extra confirmation that you were going to be going lower, right? Also, because SPY hadn't hit outside day, I can stay in my Q short because I know this has to go lower for SPY to hit outside day, right? And maybe not stay in, but I knew that I could at least take it again. I could take the next actionable signal down, okay? So looking for weekly target, likely will hit it today, honestly, at the rate that we're going. But yeah, that's what I really want to get across to myself and to you. If it's going to happen, you're going to see it happening. And why is that so important? Because it keeps you out of this bullshit, right? Like, okay, we went down, I made a profit, and then you're in this back and forth. It doesn't make sense to stick around for this. Boom, 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 right? So if I know that I'm going outside day, right? That's my target, that's my goal. Then I just need to wait to see it happening, right? So we took our first leg down. All of this, you just ignore. And then I see this on the 5er. Okay, great. Now I have an actionable signal. This is also an actionable signal, fair enough, but it doesn't happen, so you just have to get out. Or you get in on the 15er, right? The 15er gives you all of this. Okay, shit. It's not happening. I really think we're going to go outside day. I'm not sure. Great, you just wait for this. Boom, entry, right? Because if it's going to happen, you will see it happening. And this is absolutely lovely. We go all the way to the weekly trigger. Boom. Right? We trigger the week, just like the Qs did. Right? So ultimately, my goal is to get down to here, 676. Obviously, I'll need to stay below the weekly trigger for that to happen. And I hope we don't today, so I can get into an even better position tomorrow. All right. That's this video.